Hi, I'm Polished Black, and this is my real life ghost stories. I'm going to start off with my first story being about the first time I saw a ghost. She was actually a spirit, a beautiful spirit, and turned out to be a friend of some friends. And it's a really interesting story. And there's actually a few parts to it because she was in my life for a large amount of time, a large amount of energetic time where I was really learning about myself and what I was experiencing, and she really helped me a lot. It was this really cool relationship actually, and it all started with the Ouija board, and so and this was back in 1997, 96 or 97. I was younger. I was about 16 years old, so 16, 17. I'm not really sure, but. I think I was like 17, 18. I have a bunch of cats running around, so you might hear them. I apologize, but there's really nothing I can do about keeping them contained while I tell the story. Maybe they'll show up and you'll enjoy their little spiritual visit. So the first time I saw a ghost or a spirit entity, energy being, someone who passed to the other side, or whatever the situation is. In this case, I'm just gonna call her Jay. Jay, she was a spirit that passed, and she was a little bit younger than me actually by a year, but around the same age. So she was like 15 or 16 years old when she passed, and so here's the story. Here's the best way to get started with the story. So back in the day, I used to have a friend, and we'll call her L. I'm just going to go by first initials because these are true stories, real people. So, and maybe they'll even watch these videos and see, the story and remember how it unfolded and even add to it maybe. But I don't, just for privacy, I don't want to, say names and stuff. But anyways, so back in the day, I was really interested in the Ouija board and tarot cards and everything. I was really into magic. But I really especially loved the Ouija board because I felt like it was something that you can do with your friends, like you connect. It was just one of those games. There was so many games back in Pennsylvania that the girls would play at like sleepovers and, YMCA parties and all that stuff. Lots of fun. But the Ouija board was always my favorite because it just seemed like that was something where you really had to trust your friends and be like, ooh, are they moving it or is it really moving? And it was just a really cool thing. And once it started working for me, and I mean working for me, I was just like, I'm a true believer, and it didn't matter if anyone else believed or not. I was doing it at home all alone in my bedroom at night all the time. Loved it. And I really truly believe I was connecting with some awesome spirits. And there were times where, I think I was just using my imagination and just trying to make things up out of letters, but at least I was practicing. You need to practice your craft. So that was a way to practice. And I knew that. I was like, okay, even if, this is just some type of movement, I'm still going to go with it. Anyways, let's get to the story. So I had some friends, one of them in particular, L, and we got a Ouija board, and we started using it together, and I can't remember the date exactly, but I just remember that it was something that we did a lot, and I don't remember exactly what came first. Was that we contacted her, but how that occurred with just if it was her initials or her first name or how we figured that it was her. But my friend Elle was like, okay, that's so and so, and she died not too long ago, and she was a friend of mine. And so what was really strange was that we felt like we were talking to this girl. She said it was her. She was confirming on here, that was her. But then she started telling me things about my life that was like, whoa, this is just weird. How does she even know I'm thinking about this, So that was weird, and I was like, okay, because she was just saying things. It's hard to explain, but maybe one day I will go deeper into this story. But so it was just like, oh, okay, so confirming almost that like I was talking to somebody who at least could read my mind and saying that she was a friend of Elle's. Now, what was weird was that like, you know, it was kind of playful in a way, and like even though like for Elle it was like really serious, like could this really be her, is this her kind of thing, like because she was a friend of hers, so like she knew her before she died, which was just last year, like the year before this happened. So it was like really like emotional for her, where for me it was like, you know, I don't know if this is real or not, and you know, like if you're confirming, but like it's just weird, like this whole entire situation is just kind of weird. Like I feel like this person is reading my mind, and then she's saying she's a friend. Like it was just a weird situation. So that was, you know, when we first reached her. And then I remember we went to pizza with another friend, B, and B also knew Jay. So we were sitting at the table, and we're all out for pizza, and we're sitting there. And I was like, I wish I could remember perfectly. I would love to talk to them about it one day. But like, I just remember I saw this girl, and she was wearing a pirate uniform. I remember actually, when I think back, I see her as the pirate uniform, but then I also see her as like a princess, or like a dress, like a pretty like young girl dressed up for like a prom or something. And so I don't remember exactly how it happened, if they started talking about her, or if we started talking about the reading, like how we picked her up on here. But you know, that was picked up, and I said, I see her. Did she have blonde hair? And I see her wearing a pirate uniform. And both Elle and Jay like just teared up and was like, oh my goodness, like the last time we saw her, the last time everyone was like all together was at a Halloween party, and she was a pirate. So that was when we all just were like, okay, something's up here. Like, I'm seeing her, you know, I was the only one that didn't know her. And what it was that she went to a different school. So both B and Elle like they knew her through like, you know, going to like different parties and social gatherings that I wasn't at. So, you know, they kind of just knew who she was and hung out with her and all that. So, but because she went to a different school, you know, and I didn't really socialize that much, I guess, I don't know. But I just never was able to meet her. So, but a lot of kids in my school knew her and loved her. So that was cool. That, you know, she was a loved female. And her energy is very bright. Like, I just feel like she, even though she passed, she's still kind of like trying to enjoy moments with the people that she was friends with. So one of the things that happened after that was, you know, we just kept on using this and talking to her. And, you know, we would just like go for a ride or something, and I used to have a Volkswagen bus back then, so we would put it in the back of the bus, and we would sit and use it in the back of the bus. We'd just go park somewhere in the trees and do the Ouija in the trees, and the Ouija, however you want to say it, yeah. But, you know, just that idea that, like, you know, we were contacting the other side, so we wanted to, like, get out into nature and really talk to her. You know, we would ask silly teenage questions. I mean, we were teenagers back then, so, like, you know what I mean? I wasn't asking her, like, you know, who's going to be president in 2016? Can you help us out here? You know, like, well, what, or anything like that. We weren't even thinking as far past, you know, like dates and stuff. So, like, who to date, which was one of the topics, actually. She gave me some warnings about about people, and, you know, which turned out that, like, you know, I'm glad I listened and stuff, I guess. Yes. But, you know, just really strange things. So But what I want to, there's a lot more to this story, a lot more really crazy synchronistic things happen with her. But I'm gonna stop here because I can go on and on about, you know, and go deep and all that. And then I also get a little distracted. Like right now, I really want to talk just about the idea of connecting. And I know I'll get to that in other videos, but just to throw that in right now to say, you know, when you want to talk to the other side, if you really want to talk to a past loved one, an angel, a spirit, a fairy, you know, like just the devil, whoever it is that you want to talk to, God, an angel, Jesus Christ, whoever it is, Jesus Christ, whoever it is, you know, you can, because see, my cats are going crazy right now because they know that I'm like opening this vortex, and that's what it is. You're staying open. You're in the vortex, first of all. You have to be in the vortex, and which means basically that you're aware of your surroundings, that you're aware of what you're doing, that you're in the present moment, that you're listening, you're attracting, you know that you're creating, you know, once you're in that. And when you're a teenager, when you're a little kid, it's easy to be there. It's easy to be there all the time, you know, especially if you're in nature. So right now what I'm saying is, you know, in order to connect with the other side, which is also the synchronicity of life, which is also, you know, that idea of opening your third eye and opening your crown chakra. So I have a purple candle. I was so happy when I realized it was purple. I was like, okay, this is meant for me to do this right now, you know? But Jay was really important because she was the first spirit that came to me and said, hey, look at me, connect with my friends so that to keep that open connection. And you know, just this amazing way to be a part of, like I said, being in the vortex, connecting with nature, connecting with the consciousness of one, of being one, like, you know, the synchronicities of life, everything like that. Like if you want to open yourself up to that, like this is a great tool. You know, you shouldn't be scared of it. It's just a tool. It's something that you use to help move the energy that you're harnessing, the power, like the connection that you're making with the other side. It's just helping so that you can interpret, you know, like the message. Just like automatic writing, which is something that's awesome. It's fun. You know, some people automatic write stories, novels, movies, right? They don't even know songs, right? So basically, you know, there are different tools like the EVP meter that just on a simple iPhone seriously works so good, and I'll tell stories about that in the future, but serious, like the words, synchronicity, I mean, it's just amazing. So there's a lot that, you know, so I'm just starting off with this little story, but it does go deeper, it does get a lot more intense. So I'm going to put that in another video, in the next video, which is basically talking about how once we had an open communication, she started sending people my way and started doing strange things that, like, even to this day, it's like, wow, you know? And that's why even today I'm just like, you know, I have to make this video. And I've been wanting to talk about this, about all of my stories and what's the best place to start with, but then, you know, to start with someone who really impacted my whole entire life and was part of a group, you know, that I really cared about, and it helped them to help them with her passing and communicate with them from her. So what I'm just trying to say is to believe, and the next video will come. I'm Polished Black. Rock your magic.